Do you put a lot of pressure on yourself and you feel like you get stuck in sabotaging your own success? You know you're getting your own way, but you just don't know how to stop it. This video is for you. I'm gonna walk you through the shame-stress-sabotage cycle, what it is, and why we get stuck in it, 7 reasons we get stuck, but really most importantly, how to break the cycle. Hey, make sure you hit subscribe, say hello in the comments below, and let's dive into the coaching. Hey, I'm your coach, Trish Blackwell, your confidence coach and your go-to resource to help you train your thoughts. Because when you train your thoughts, you change your thoughts. And when you change your thoughts, you change your life. So, hey, my high achievers, my perfectionist, here's the deal. There's this stress cycle, and it starts with shame, stress, and pressure, and creates this self-perpetuating sabotage. Whether you sabotage through binge shopping, binge eating, binge scrolling, binge TV watching, binge Netflix, or binge drinking. Overdoing something to, even if it's to whatever measure you consider a binge or an overage, if you find that you are numbing or avoiding, or that you have these plans but you keep being disappointed in yourself because you keep derailing yourself with your own volition because you're allowing these habits to happen, it's time to stop beating yourself up. Because if you beat yourself up, you will only perpetuate this cycle. Here's how the cycle goes. We start with putting pressure on ourselves. This fantasized perfectionism that we need to be perfect. You think, well, I gotta be perfect for this to work. I need to be really, really good, and then I'll get the results. So the more pressure you put on yourself, the more comparison you're gonna have. You're gonna start comparing yourself, you start getting critical, and then you start numbing. So you make a mistake, we put too much pressure, then we don't follow through on the behavior we want, and then you get exhausted. And when we're exhausted and we feel overwhelmed, we buffer. Buffering, numbing, tapping out, whatever you want to call that bad habit, but that's when it triggers. It's when it's too much and you want to throw in the towel because you're just too tired. And so that numbing creates shame, which then puts pressure on you. You say, well, I need to be perfect. I'm gonna make up for where I fell off the wagon. And then it starts back at the top. You put pressure, you start putting pressure on yourself. You start pressuring yourself by comparing yourself to others. And you start being self-critical in a way to sort of bully yourself into being good, right? If you've ever said, I gotta be good, then you're probably falling into this cycle. And the more pressure you put on yourself and the more you're critical of yourself, the more you'll eventually hit a breaking point because it's not good self-care. And then you just give up, you throw in the towel, you tap the easy button, you go back to that habit, and then you're devastated. Then you have self-hatred, you're disappointed in yourself, and the cycle starts back because you go, aha, never again, and you swear that it will never happen again, and then you put all this pressure on yourself and it starts back to the top. So let me walk through these ways why we get stuck in the sabotage. Reason number 1 is you put too much pressure on yourself to be perfect. Perfection is an unrealistic fantasy and not a wise thing to pursue. So number 1, too much pressure doesn't help. Number 2, we think that a side step is a side swipe, like it just knocks you out. It's okay if you want to get from point A to point B. Sometimes it's not going to be a direct set. Sometimes it's a little bit of a curvy line. That is okay. Just because you get derailed momentarily doesn't mean it's a devastating setback. A side step is not a side swipe. We don't need to catastrophize every little baby step that doesn't go perfectly. We just have to have the confidence to be able to say to ourselves, everything is figure-outable. Everything is course correctable. Everything can be re-navigated, right? It's not a direct point A, point B. We are always gonna have a little wiggle in between. The sooner you embrace that, the sooner we break this cycle. Our third reason we get stuck in the cycle is because we're motivating ourselves from a place of discontent rather than self-acceptance. Discontent will never motivate you to create change. When you're unhappy where you are, you cannot chase happiness. Where you go there, that thing will go. So we have to start at a place of self-acceptance and nurturing, and you will see what grows. It's very, very different. Now, the fourth reason we get stuck in this cycle of self-sabotage is that you don't believe in slow and steady, and you're drinking the Kool-Aid of being impatient. You're saying, I'm just an impatient person, and I don't want you to drink that Kool-Aid anymore. Patience is a skill that we can all develop and nurture and grow in our lives. And I believe the more you set into the affirmation that slow and steady wins the race, that micro moments, micro milestones are as important as the mega ones. Micro milestones have a compound effect and get us major breakthroughs. That you celebrate the small, because in the small is where the big things happen. That, my friends, we go small to go big, and you'll see big results. But hey, we want instant gratification. We want quick success. But I tell you, that mindset is keeping you in the cycle. If you want to change, it's time to change. It's time to break the cycle. The fifth reason you're stuck in the cycle is sometimes we're afraid of being successful. The pressure, the power, the happiness. And if that's you, if that resonates, that might be a possibility. I want to encourage you to pull out your journal and do some journaling. I've got a lot of really great videos here on this channel on effective journaling, call and response journaling, so you can effectively understand what is the thought that's keeping you stuck. But you do not need to be afraid of being successful. You are created to shine. God has so much that He wants to use you for. But we got to get back out of you being afraid of being in your own way. You let yourself be a light in this world, and good things will happen. Number 6, sometimes we get stuck in this cycle of sabotage because we don't think we deserve to be happy. And I just, for me, from a faith perspective, as believers, Christ came to give us life to the full. That is abundance. That doesn't mean perfection. Doesn't mean that everything's easy. But it means joy is in my birthright. So it's not that I deserve to be happy. I don't, but because of God, because of what God has given me, and because of who Christ is, I have access to joy everlasting. That it's because of that sacrifice, because of the love of God, I have access to a spring of life. A spring of joy. It's not whether I'm deserving, I'm undeserving, but I am receiving what has been given to me. I don't want to reject the gift that has been given to me that I have access to. So yeah, how about you just allow yourself to say, hey, where it says in the Bible, rejoice continuously, I'm going to lean into that I can have joy and peace and love, because that's part of the birthright of being a child of God. And the 7th reason we stay stuck is because you possibly haven't created a system of support or change for yourself. If you're stuck and you've been stuck and you're still stuck, it might be time to change something. Whether that's coming and hanging out with me in my group coaching, The College of Confidence. You can find out more about that at collegeofconfidence.com, or by going and checking out my mastermind, which we release about twice a year. Go to trishblackwell.com/mastermind. It's done with none. It will help you 6-month intensive on how to break the cycle of self-sabotage. I would love for you to check those out. And finally, to stop the cycle, here are a couple quick ways. You've got to start looking at your thoughts. We do that through journaling. We do that through reflection. We do it through prayer. You've got to be willing to feel your feelings, right? I teach you how to do that. I have a whole course on how to feel your feelings in the College of Confidence. I'll walk you through the steps. You've got to commit to progression, not perfection. Commit to progression, not perfection. Celebrate your micro wins and accept yourself now. Keep your eyes on your own life. Move forward with unwavering faith and extraordinary determination that this is changing. You are not stuck. You need to declare and proclaim you are not stuck. You are a new creation. You are being transformed, and you are not the old you know. You may not be where you want to go yet, but you praise God, you are not where you once were, and you can see that forward momentum. And then finally, I want to encourage you that you have the ability to stop this cycle and change your habits by determining to make your brain work for you, not against you. Because for me, for years, I thought my brain was just gonna work against me. You have the power to make your brain work for you, not against you. Now, how do you get that? Well, continue to surround yourself in resources, continue training your thoughts, continue working with me, whether it's here on YouTube, in my podcast, The Confidence Podcast, which you can find anywhere you listen to podcasts, or by going deep, because I know I can help you break the cycle. Join one of my Done With Them masterminds. You can check that out. The link is below. Or if you want to really start disrupting your current approach to how you change your habits, how you think, and you want to lay out new pathways and how you think so that you can make your brain work for you, not against you. You know where to go. All that work is done with me, cheering you on in the College of Confidence. Check it out at collegeofconfidence.com. I want you to do this. I want you to proclaim with me today. Comment below. I will make my brain work for me, not against me. and it starts today. Guys, hit subscribe and say that below, that affirmation, that proclamation. Affirm this within your spirit today. My brain is going to work for me, not against me. I am triumphant. I walk in victory, and I can't wait to see what God is going to continue to do in my life.